What's up, y'all? Another week of Tech File. I have if you're watching the video, you can see this. You can hear it on the audio. I got a gift for the gentleman tonight.
Tasty treat.
I got a tasty treat for everybody. I'm actually wait. Hold on, wait. Rewind me real quick. I have brought along something to share with the entire cast. I'm going to pass it out during the intro, during the theme song, and we're gonna try it live on air. So, dude, hit the theme music so I can pass this out while y'all catch y'all breath. Welcome to episode 309 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. I'm trying to bring some energy. Jesus Christ.
I am the Eric J.
Sorry.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman.
The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
But better known as K Diddy.
Take that. All right, guys. So, I brought everybody this week ginger shots.
Oh,
good.
Need that.
On what?
And pineapple chasers.
Pineapple chasers. I'm
You-
supposed to
you-
eat the pineapple after
you take the shot, because you're going to need it after the
I
shot.
got to chew it.
Chew what?
This
How
nigga-
else you going to eat pineapple if you don't chew it?
That's wrong with you, bro. What's wrong with your boy? Man? Tell me what I gotta chew.
Okay, so
Wait. What's it? Like,
this is real ginger that was juiced, so it's going to be a little.
It's going to be
Spicy.
bitter.
It's gonna be like
It's going to be spicy,
It's gonna be spicy.
What's kind of
It's gonna be
spice?
like that ginger ale. The bold one.
but bolder.
That bowl with the boulder.
I was like, that
So to start the show off,
That bowl was
let me
fighting.
tell y'all something. So live on air, we're going to do this to start the show off, because
Oh,
health
good Lord.
is wealth.
Absolutely.
Health is wealth. Ginger shots are good for the. Yep.
No, bro.
You might not be able to do it all in one gulp, and that's fine.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and knock
You can try it, but the apple or pineapple chaser is necessary. Trust me.
Okay.
Cheers,
and
gents.
this comes from somebody that don't drink, so I don't know how to take shots at all.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna sip mine a little bit.
I know I'm going to need this pineapple.
Trying to do it like
A shot.
tequila shot.
I'm just finished. Leave me alone. Let me figure it out.
Ginger
Tim
shots
drink
for
too
my
much.
bros, so everybody can have a shot. This is my kind of shot. Ginger shots.
Is it to help?
Salute everybody to health.
Salute.
Don't.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Cheers.
Woo.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Woo!
God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Told you it was spicy.
Mm-mm.
It's good for your digestive health.
It's too healthy.
Woo!
I'm too regular
I
already.
can taste the grass. Oh, my God.
Spice.
Boy.
It's
I
gonna
can
keep
taste
burning
the
too.
grass.
It's like Jamaican rum.
Cheers, gents. Okay.
Things I do for this podcast. God.
Health is wealth.
This shit hot. It's gonna burn it on the way down.
Thank God for the pineapple chasers. Okay. Ooh, I feel it in my ears every time. It's like clearing out my sinuses and everything. Woo! Okay. Other housekeeping that we have. Woo! Do we have a sport fact of the week? Ooh, my ears.
My ear.
No, I have a different game though.
Let's get into it. What's the game you got for us?
Let me pull.
I'm gonna eat this pineapple while you getting our game ready, cause
Boy, that has some kick to it.
This is the Mike Breen Bang game.
Jesus Christ.
So I forgot to grab the user's name, but somebody on Twitter apparently
see
compiled a
this.
report of like every bang every bang that Mike Breen ever said on the ABC ESPN broadcast.
Oh,
Okay.
So then he compiled it and then like listed out who got the most bangs again. But I wanted to see if we could name, let's say, the top 10.
okay.
So
I know.
from 2012, 2013 season to 2022, 2023
So
season.
last 10 seasons.
Okay.
Yep. So
Bangs.
yep. So
I've
honestly,
already
we
seen
just
it.
like-
So let's popcorn. I'm gonna let y'all talk first though.
just throw out names.
Steph Curry.
Number
That is
one.
number one with a bullet.
Yeah,
that's
41 bangs.
Bang.
I mean, he had that one bang, bang, bang.
That counts as one bang. That's one bang.
Word?
So actually, we'll do top 11 because they're a bunch tied for 9. All right. So we got Steph Curry number 1.
Dame.
Yeah.
Dame is not there.
Oh, really?
Word.
No, because you got to think about
Oh, I
who's
thought you
played a
said
lot of
that.
ESPN, ABC games.
Oh, okay.
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson's number 2,
Okay.
28 bangs.
28 bang.
I actually
So
don't
Steph is
remember.
41, number 1. Clay's number 2 with
With
28.
28.
Like,
Dang
James
that
Harden
half
close.
for the bangs.
James Harden.
James Harden is on the list. He has 7 bangs.
Okay.
If y'all in the comments, give us who you think is top 11 bangs.
Bang. KD.
What's the
Kevin
good one?
Durant is tied for 3rd. He has 9 bangs.
Okay.
Kyrie.
Kyrie, yes,
I feel like
tied for 9th.
LeBron.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, I
LeBron's
gotta
not
put
on there, is
LeBron.
he?
Yeah, LeBron
LeBron
gotta
is
have few.
also tied for 3rd.
Is he?
Okay.
9 bangs.
9 bangs.
Y'all knocking it out.
Yeah.
What we got left?
Ooh, that's a
Yeah,
good one,
Devin
Shells.
Booker.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, a good one.
Devin Booker.
You gotta
Nope.
get the national games though. That's the
Oh, shit. How about
That's what I'm
Westbrook?
thinking of.
Westbrook.
Hey, Westbrook was knocking him down when he was OKC.
What about Kawhi?
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay,
Yes, is on the list. He's
Oh,
tied
really?
with James Harden with 7.
Paul George.
Paul George?
No.
He's been hurt.
I'm gonna say
Kawhi
Kawhi been hurt.
but Kawhi's been in a lot of national games.
So see, we have
I feel like we
1,
missing obvious
2.
ones.
I do too, and I've
3,
seen
What
them.
about
4.
Anthony
I
Davis?
can't think.
No.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
You gotta think about
bangs.
like when he does bang shots. Like
It's a big
probably
shot,
gonna be-
like
It's a huge shot. A
it's
clutch
probably
shot.
gonna be like long range.
Mhm.
So either a 3-pointer or like a mid
He
range.
said,
What about Trae Young?
so Kobe ain't on there.
No.
then?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
let him get that
that was towards the
conversation.
end of
Yeah,
Kobe.
sort of. Yeah.
So you
Bangs.
have
Jason
Yeah,
Tatum.
Jason Tatum. That's a good one.
he is
Okay, KG.
surprisingly tied for 3.
Thank you,
Okay.
KG. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good
He
one.
has
That's
9
a good
as well.
one.
I feel like
So
we
the
missing
top
obvious
5,
ones.
we have Steph Curry 41, Klay Thompson 28,
Mhm.
and Tatum, Durant, and LeBron James, all tied with 9.
Okay.
Okay.
We got that.
One, I'm pretty sure y'all not gonna get. So just think about like somebody obscure that might have hit a bunch of big shots. on good
JJ.
teams.
Danny Green.
Ooh, that's
That's crazy.
Yep. So he's
Yeah.
right below them. He got 8.
I was like, gotta be when you said JJ, it was like, no, it's gotta be someone like that. That's a good one though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
you
was
got
like
2 more
JJ
people
Redick.
that are tied for 9th, and then that's the top 10 or top 11.
Shoot.
Uh,
Give us a hint.
So 1 is a person's favorite player at this table.
Chris Paul? I was gonna say Chris because
Chris
of the
Paul on
national
there,
games.
I was gonna say Chris Middleton.
But he hit a lot of clutch shots. Like younger Chris Paul was. Yeah,
I was like, you talking about me?
Would Dirk be on there?
No. The last person is someone I would consider a villain.
You would consider a villain?
Yes.
It's not Draymond.
Yeah, it ain't Draymond. That was the first person I thought.
It ain't
about, too.
Dylan Brooks. Who else is the
There are
villain?
2
in the league?
people
Is
whose
it
teams I
Jimmy?
root against off GP.
Jimmy Butler.
Is it Jimmy Butler?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't actually think I see him.
We said Tatum already.
Yeah, he's on the list. I mean, he hates the Celtics.
And
Is it Jalen Brown?
No.
It ain't
Close.
D Wade not on there.
D Wade. KG, that's a good one. I don't think it's
Yeah.
D Wade.
Mm-mm.
Not a villain.
Okay, and he got traded this offseason.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Help.
Plenty of people got. It ain't KD. It ain't Kyrie. Or is it Kyrie?
No.
No, he didn't get
He
traded
already-
this
That's his
offseason.
He
offseason.
also-
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Who is it? Who is
no,
it?
Christian Wood? No.
Come on. Man.
I give up. Who is it?
Okay, it's Marcus Smart.
Really?
I would not have
Really?
guessed Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I definitely
Marcus
I
Smart.
would
Marcus
not
Smart.
have guessed Marcus Smart.
But think about how many deep playoff runs the Celtics have, how often
Yeah.
they're on national TV, and how often he's shooting.
Yeah, he was
Bang.
shooting a lot.
Bang.
Bang.
Yeah, so that was fun.
That's
like,
cool, okay.
Boom goes the
I have
dynamite.
no idea how they.
That'd
went
be your
about, like-
slogan or something?
Yes. Boom goes the dynamite.
Okay.
Shell said Fred VanVleet. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Power
That was
Ranger
cool. I like
Kessler.
that one. So we ain't gonna do the game needs names. We played the game already for our sport fact. So
For sure.
some housekeeping before we get into the topic discussion. As a reminder, y'all, thank you to everybody who's already in the YouTube comments watching us live as we record episode 309. Make sure you like up this video
Mhm.
while you're in here.
Subscribe.
And of course, turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live. We go live every Tuesday around 7 p.m. Central Time.
Be
Uh,
here.
Yeah, be here. And I mean, if you're listening to the audio only version of it, again, it'd be really
Mhm.
helpful too if you can just make sure you subscribe to that YouTube, even if you don't watch on that platform.
Click
The
it.
subscription helps. Drop a
Share
comment,
it.
whatever was your favorite part of the episode or something like that.
Review
You can
it.
always rate and review the podcast. Give us 5 stars wherever
5
you can. And share the show with your people because, you
Tell
know,
'em
we're
all.
trying to grow our fan base, grow. We've been
Absolutely.
doing this for a while. We give y'all some
Mhm.
fire content. And one free
Mhm.
way to support the pod is just sharing it.
Easy money.
Let
Do
people
it.
know. So do all that for us. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep giving y'all this
Hurry
content.
Just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, like while she was saying that, I just went and retweeted the show tweet.
See how
Like,
quick it
it's
is.
That
easy.
quick.
It's
That
that
quick.
quick.
Quick and easy. And if you're listening after the show's already live, you can still go and repost, retweet, because you're going to see us post like, hey, episode 309. Watch it. It's going to be on our Instagram. It's going to be on our Facebook. It's going to be on our Twitter, the website formerly known as Twitter. It's going to be on all that. So just repost it when you see it. It'd be great. Yeah, let's move these empty cups out the way. All right, dude. Cue us up. Let's get into the topics of the week. Big whistles. All right.
Them ginger shots.
Did you eat all your pineapple?
Yeah, I ate all that damn pineapple. I had to get rid of that damn taste.
I feel good now. It's, you know,
Motherfuckers cooking.
they need to cook. Apparently, you need the extra.
It's doing its job.
Right. Let it clean you out.
Unclog you.
Remember when? Never mind. I'm not going to. Never mind. I was going to talk about Tim's diet. NFL
Nah.
4 things. So, this is the part of the show. We take a look back over the last week in the NFL. We each pick something that we want to discuss from the last week.
Mhm.
Tim, kick us off. What you want to talk about from the last week of NFL football?
The losers.
Oh, boy. All the losers?
So just the ones that ain't got a dub and they win column yet.
Oh, so the double losers.
Yeah, because like there's some cats that they got L's that okay, they may be 1-1, but the ones that are 0-2, it's not that many of them. 2, 4, 6, it's 8 of them, right? So some that you expect to be there: the Bears, the Texans,
You see, he started with you.
Oh,
the Cardinals. Like you expect them to be there, but there are some that are there that you kind of wonder, like, I was not expecting you to be in the same company as the first 3.
Like who?
The Bengals.
Yeah.
The Chargers. And with Sean Payton's debut this year, the Broncos.
Yeah, he was talking cash about the Broncos coaching last year, and at least last year they got off to a 2-1 start.
You got the Patriots and the Vikings down there too.
I'm surprised by any
Got a
of
hot
those.
take about the
Maybe,
Patriots.
maybe the
Oh wait,
The Bengals for sure is the surprise
is it?
to me.
You said the Bengals are? To me, are.
They started off last season 0-2 too.
They always start off slow, but then they end hot.
Oh, it's not always, but
Normally, even since Ocho.
with the
When
Joe
Ocho was
Burrow,
there.
you going back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even then they
I
started
thought I was
off-
gonna give you some credit saying like the Joe Burrow Bengals, but you went back.
I mean, they lost to the Browns and they lost to the Ravens. 2 teams that are supposed to be pretty good this year.
Browns look garbage.
The Browns are going to be garbage without Nick Chubb, but
Boy, that injury sucked too.
Big
yes.
garbage.
yeah, I saw the replay of that. The first thing I thought of was Willis McGahee, and then I looked at trending topics, and it was like Willis McGahee. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
looked
the only one
disgusting.
that-
I was like, Jesus.
the Bengals, again, I'm not surprised they started 0-2.
Mhm.
One, they had some tough game. I mean, the Browns were supposed to be a pretty good team.
Mhm.
My NFL thing is about the Browns. I'll save a little bit of that for that. But the other piece, the Bengals started 0-2 last year. So, like, it's not a surprise to me to see them there.
Mhm.
Just like it's not a surprise for me to see the Vikings there at this moment. Because we talked about the win regression. They won, like, 11 games last season.
Yeah.
Luck.
One score wins. And I was like, that's going to regress.
Yeah.
And it's regressing. They have lost both of their games this season, and both of those were one-score games.
Boy, they made Baker Mayfield look great.
You talking? Wait, the
Wait,
Bears?
I'm thinking the Bears.
The Bears played Tampa Bay.
Because they lost to Baker Mayfield too, the Vikings.
It's crazy.
So maybe Baker Mayfield's good. Now.
Maybe he's having a resurgent year.
He hasn't thrown any picks yet either.
I mean, look at the secondaries he was in.
All right, no.
I'm just stating the facts here. I'm sorry that the facts hurt your feelings, but those are the facts.
Hey man, at this point, I'll wait. I'll save it.
But other than that, I have been surprised with the fight that the Cardinals have been putting up in their games. Their games have been close. It's kind of like they finding a way to lose because some of these they probably should have won. But
They should have won against the Giants.
yeah, they should.
They tricked that one.
Patriots down there, they lost to the Eagles and the Dolphins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they were fighting in both of them. And this past week, they were without like 3 of their linemen.
Mhm.
So
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. The Chargers lost 2 very, very close games. They lost by 2 against the Dolphins, and they lost in overtime by 3 to the Titans this week.
So them two, like the Chargers and the Bengals, I don't expect to be down there long.
Okay, I agree.
Minnesota,
Again, I can preface everything I say in the NFL portion by like I don't know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
I will say I never trust the Chargers. Haven't since the Phillip Rivers days. Like even when they have the most talent, like it feels like it's something that never quite Earls. Right.
it's just something that just don't.
They just don't.
But Herbert is it though.
I mean, Phillip Rivers was it. Drew Brees was it. Like
Then
they
they
just
never-
never quite.
This is facts.
Next week, the Chargers head to Minnesota to play the Vikings. So at least one of those teams will move out of the no wins column.
Out of the toilet bowl.
It'd probably be the Chargers.
I don't necessarily disagree with you
Yeah,
on
like
that.
they got the pieces there to be an issue. Like they still got Bosa, they still got Mac, they still got the receivers like Herbert. They got the pieces there.
Yeah,
It's
they
just-
have all the talent in the world. They always have all the talent. In the
Yeah.
world. It don't matter.
Okay, so since we talk about Minnesota, quick hot take with Minnesota. I see Dwayne in here. What about getting rid of your boy Cousins,
Mhm.
send him to the Jets?
I thought you were going to say to the Bears.
What they getting in return? Who gonna be the backup?
Who?
Who's the backup
Back up to who? Which team?
Like,
for
who
Minnesota?
goes to
If
Minnesota?
you send out
Who's
Cousins,
starting?
who's starting?
Oh, for Zach. Young.
They want to give Kirk Cousins up for Zach Wilson?
Hey, that don't sound that bad.
Pourquoi?
It probably don't sound bad to Jets
Don't
fans.
sound that bad.
I would.
Why would
I don't know why
Minnesota do
Minnesota
that?
would do that.
Hey, bro. Kirk, go to New York.
Kirk can't play in under the bright lights. You gonna send him to New York?
To be fair, one, Kirk Cousins is a far better quarterback than Zach Wilson. So
Yeah.
he would be an upgrade in New York. And
Yeah.
also there's the whole piece of if Minnesota is going to be paying Kirk this summer
Mhm.
going forward. So if you know you're not going to pay Kirk, I could see somebody saying it might make sense to get rid of him and get something back. But the Vikings also want to win this year. So I don't see them trading Kirk Cousins because
Zach Wilson.
he's their best quarterback option that they
What
have.
week is the trade deadline?
Oh, that's
roughly?
not until
Sure.
like November or December.
Okay, so like they'll be like 6 to 8 games in at least at that point. Like if they're 1-7, like
Let's see.
Kirk Cousins got something on somebody in Minnesota. They're gonna pay him again.
well, I mean, like part of it is like nobody
The
wants
trade
to.
deadline is October 31st.
Okay, so yeah, it's
Halloween.
probably week 6. Yeah, I mean, like if they're not good, like if they're not good, then why would the Jets do it? But on the flip side, if they feel like this season is a lost cause, like I could easily see them cutting bait. Like to your point, not wanting to pay him.
Mhm.
It's time for a new direction. Like that. It's a really good quarterback draft apparently. So, or at least Caleb Williams is supposed to be that dude.
It's supposed
So-
it's a
Yeah,
couple.
that's my guy.
No, it's a couple of them in this draft.
I see our Vikings fan in the comment, Dwayne. He said, "No, if they lose him, we'll end up losing Jettas, which is probably I don't like Kirk like that, but his record ain't fully on him, which is true.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Kirk not that bad.
I mean,
That
that's the thing,
documentary
like,
made me like him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, quarterbacks
The
did
quarterbacks
seem
made
more
me like
likable
Kirk
for
Cousins.
sure.
I said a million times though, like, you know, quarterback is so hard. Like even the mediocre ones, like, are we sure we can find better? So when you get one, it's like, shit, hold on to them. Like you might get lucky that year. Like Matt Ryan had an MVP year. Like Matt Ryan wasn't elite, but he was good enough. He keep you in the hunt. Get you playoffs every year.
I know about quarterbacks.
Do you?
Do you?
He do.
I mean,
Trash.
watching other teams.
Ooh, boy.
I'm just saying, it's not.
So teams without a win.
Right.
Of those teams, the one I would say should be most concerned.
Denver.
You know what? I know what I said about the Bengals already, but I'm going to actually pick them. But it's not because of just the record alone. It's the fact that Joe Burrow actually did just re-aggravate his calf again.
Mm.
Yeah, that's trash.
So for that part of it, like at least last year they had health. This year he's already has a calf injury, and he had it in preseason, and now he got it aggravated this past game.
Yeah.
That's tough. Whenever it's soft tissue injuries, I've said it multiple times on this show. Calves, hammies, quads, whatever that soft tissue, like that muscle injury is, like those tend to linger. Those are the injuries you don't want to see because they can just be re-aggravated so easily. So I actually am going to agree with you and I'm going to go with the Bengals because of the health concerns with their star quarterback. Because without Joe Burrow,
Yeah, that's right. AFC is so stacked too. So
Boy.
you can't lose that many games, especially not starting off. So.
yeah. Okay.
I'll say the Broncos just because, again, Sean Payton came out talking all that shit.
Talking all that good shit a second ago.
Russell Wilson don't look any better.
He do look. He looks a little bit.
better.
He looks better than he did last year. But he does
you're
look
right.
better.
I said
He
does
had a
look better.
300-yard game. Wait, I think he had like 2 TDs last night. He looked all right. He looked better than week one. Week one, he was kind of shaky.
Yeah, let me pull up his stats from Sunday. What you do, Russ?
Like 3-something.
308 yards, 3 touchdowns,
Yeah.
an interception.
Yeah, so,
He also
decent-
ran for 56 yards.
He had a,
Damn,
he had a
he
good
was
game.
Yeah,
he
he
had a good game.
He looked better. But Kim, which team would you say should be the most concerned of the winless bunch? As a reminder, those teams are the Patriots, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Panthers, the Texans, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Bears, and the Broncos.
I'm gonna say Broncos just because of the offseason things, which bringing in Sean Payton
You have
and basically they
expectations.
need to rebound. Like you cannot have a season like last year, especially with bringing in Sean Payton because he's supposed to be the savior. So yeah, you definitely. I think it is the Broncos because this is redemption time, especially for Russ. So
To everybody in the comments, first, make sure y'all see what Stereo Sensei was telling y'all to do. And secondly, let us know which of those teams that have started the season off 0-2 give you the most concern. We're like, red flags there. I'm curious to know what y'all feel as well. Eric, what's your NFL one thing?
I only watched one game this weekend. And that was Packers versus Falcons. Once that game was over, kind of left a sour taste in my mouth, and I turned off TV for the rest of the day. But honestly, like, I'm not that down on it. Like, I know that what this year is supposed to. All right, let me start over. Packers lost to the Falcons 25-24. I'm not that down about the result. Like, they look good for 3 quarters. Well, they look
3 quarters.
pretty good for 3 quarters. And then just completely fell apart in the fourth. Like the good things I saw in the first 3 quarters give me more confidence going forward than that last bad quarter makes me feel, trepidation. So, like the good things were Jordan Love looked really good. The one thing I really like about him is his demeanor.
That's what caught my attention.
Like
Calm.
again, first 3 quarters of the game, like didn't look rattled at all. Just like every time they would cut to him, had the same look on his face. You couldn't tell if they were up 20 or down 50. Like he just was stoic. He seems to have a pretty good command of the team. Like it doesn't seem like I don't know, like reading body language. Like I can't go off much more than that. Like it's not like I'm in the huddles, but
he got a little edge to him too when he walked off that run and got into the defenders. The defender was about to walk away from the play, and Jordan started yapping. The defender turned around like, "Wait a second, are you talking? You coming
You
at
better
me?"
get your quarterback. Talking all that crazy.
so like I like that. The rookies and second year receivers look pretty good. Like which really gives me,
Yep.
you know, like once they're fully healthy and get Watson back, like everybody should be knocked down a peg, which would
Help.
You know, like they have talent in the receiver room, so like I'm encouraged by that. You saw some flashes from the tight, what's his name, Hargrave or Hargrove?
Musgrave.
I don't know, the rookie tight end. Like he looks good. He's fast. Like I like that about it. So offense looked good. The defense, again, first 3 quarters was kind of bendy but not breaky. And then fourth quarter they broke. The run defense really needs to get it together.
Carve them boys up.
He is
a talent.
Breaking. That's why he's a top 10 draft pick.
Right.
I was like, I get it. I get it.
He knows how to run. Like
the right way.
Of all the runs that he did, the most impressive one to me was it was like a stretch off the right guard. And bro he hit the hole, but it looked like everything collapsed. But he just stayed on his hip and he ran for like a good 7 yards with like everybody literally around him. And he just kind of stayed behind them, using his blocker to go up about 7 yards. I'm like, bro, of all the runs he did outside of him snatching ankles,
he was taking ankles.
He was
breaking tackles and taking ankles.
But that run there, I was like, oh no, you know how to run. You are a running back.
And to your point with that, a lot of times you see younger running backs who they dance a lot.
Hate the left to right.
And he don't dance. He sees where he needs to go and he'll make a move to try to, you know, evade. But he stays within himself. He's trying to get to that first down marker, to that end zone every time. Like they have a great running back tandem.
I was gonna say
in Atlanta.
Algier.
Yep.
Like he's good. And then Robinson comes in and you're like, that's special. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, Algier is fine. Like, he's
also a north-south runner.
Right. He gets the job done. Like, probably he's the 1,200-yard back if he was, like, the focal point. Robinson comes in and it's just, like, a whole different beast. And like,
he can
shit. You know what I mean? Like,
he can break him out. He can be a receiver. He can, like...
Bro just takes off. Like, next thing you know, he's 6 yards up the field. You're like, ah!
I just kept yelling, tackle him! That man's shifty.
Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing on the offensive side of the ball. Like, you can see the depth of the offensive line, which was a strength coming in. It's like, you can't just keep taking hits to it. Because eventually, like, you know, you're subbing people out, putting people in different positions. Like, again, I'll give them a bit of a pass in that they were kind of trying to makeshift it.
And even still, they weren't even that bad.
No.
And they went in the game without Bakhtiari, and then they lost Jenkins during the game, which was like a blow because you don't really want to see Royce Newman coming in the game.
Yeah.
Newsome. But like he was even all right. Like he wasn't terrible where like the offense collapsed on itself. But like of course it would have been better if we had our real left side of the line. But that depth came through to the point where they didn't have to drastically change how they run their offense.
You know, my disappointment came with
that's the only one.
Like the 2 picks
that they dropped.
And square in the chest, in the hands. Both of them.
Quay's was weird. It was like Quay like jumped up and
he jumped and he ain't need to jump.
I think it surprised them.
Where the ball actually
the speed at which the ball was, like it probably snuck up on him.
It was dang near the same interception he got on Fields.
He didn't have to jump. He literally could have just put his hands up, caught that. But again, it probably snuck up on him. He was like, ah.
That's what it looked like.
He jumped and then it was like
at his neck.
Like, you probably didn't need to jump.
Alexander's
Jair just
he just dropped that. He was looking at the end zone and just dropped it.
But both of those picks
would change the game. When you lose by 1.
I mean, shit, like that. The first drive when they got the penalty that knocked them out of field goal range.
It did not knock them out. We saw this rookie kicker. They drafted the guy because he wasn't known for his accuracy. He was known for having a big leg. And they drafted him. You see him in the preseason. He hit a 57-yard field goal at Lambeau. 3rd longest in Lambeau field history. You put him in a dome for a 56-yard field goal and you say, I think that's too long. Make it make sense, Matt.
But like that, yes, the defense didn't make the plays they needed to make, but like I'm pointing the finger at the coaching staff. Like LaFleur wasn't great.
Wasting timeouts again.
Boy,
Couldn't get the play in on time. It's like it's simple shit that you should in your fourth year as head coach. Like that shit should be a well-oiled machine at that point. Like give me the play, get it into the huddle. Like they're breaking the huddle with like 15 seconds left. Like that can't happen.
He reminds me of Bud in some certain senses, where it's kind of like, I don't think you're a bad coach. You have moments and lapses where I'm like, what were you thinking in this moment? But he really does remind me of like the football Mike Budenholzer, where it's like some of the things. I was thinking about the Mike Budenholzer, Bucks former head coach. Like he reminds me of Bud. Like some of the things you do, I'm like, I just don't understand why you made this decision in this moment. But like, I don't think you're a bad coach. It's just like your lapses are just like, what were you thinking in this moment? Oh, and AJ Dillon. That's a good point to bring up, Charles. He did not look good. He doesn't look good in a year and a half at this point. And that man was slipping all over the field.
I've said it. I hate it. I said it. But he always has the Ryan Grant type run. Well, Ryan Grant looks like he's falling over himself.
I'd rather have Ryan Grant than AJ.
Ryan Grant actually stayed up. But like there were times when Ryan Grant was actually. How many times have we seen Ryan Grant actually like trip himself up? We like, bro, come on.
Not as much as AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon though just can't stay. Like he's falling every time he get touched.
And they're different body types. So like a Ryan Grant falling more, I'm like, okay, but Dillon, we got him to be the bruising back to push through. We can't even get 3rd and 1s with you, fam. What are we doing?
It felt like every time somebody went to go grab him, bro, he was just like, oh, I'm gonna run you over. It just didn't really go nowhere. Like. I've had big dreams for AJ Dillon to succeed, especially taking over for Jamal Williams, because Jamal Williams was doing his thing. Jamal was doing his thing.
In retrospect, that's quite a 1-2 punch if he still had Jones.
He would have started now, and Jamal was cooking when he was starting. Yeah. So AJ, they was able to let him go because they felt like AJ was supposed to be, and we need that.
And his first year was great. Like AJ looked great the first 2 years. And then it's like last year it was like, and then this year starting off it's like, But the just to come back to the Packers too, going to the season we talked about this being like a development year for the team, where it's like, hey, it's kind of house money. We're just trying to see what these guys might be. I thought they could sneak into a wild card spot. Atlanta was the other team where I'm like, they could probably, if not win a division, which now I'm looking at them, they probably will win that division. They could also get a wild card spot, but. The Packers, I was like, I expect to get some L's like this throughout the year where it's like, this was frustrating. But I didn't expect the frustration to come from the unit that is the more established part of the team. I thought that coming to the game, if you would tell me we lost by 1, and I saw that there was no Bakhtiari, Elgin got hurt, no Watson, no Jones, I'd have been like, oh, of course they lost. Like, they still put up 24 points. That's pretty good. But, like, they probably lost because of the offense. In reality, that wasn't, 24 points is enough to win a game. But that fourth quarter, things just fell apart. The defense was getting gashed, and then at that point, the offense couldn't convert first downs. So that lead they did build up, it just withered away real quick.
Because as soon as we went up 24-12, I was like, oh, we got a nice little cushion.
It was almost time to start partying.
Right. All right, we're going to be all right.
And that would have been the first time in Packers history that the team started 2-0 had they won in Atlanta with 2 road games. Whenever they start the season off with 2 road games, they normally lose 1 at least. So it would have been franchise history making had they won in Atlanta.
But this is the type of loss that you can learn from. Like it's not like you got outplayed. You beat yourself. Like no disrespect to Atlanta.
I would say it was a good game.
Right. Like they beat themselves because again, like their inability to convert a single first down in the fourth quarter, and then like not being able to get off the field on defense. Like, but a young team, they're learning. Like they'll get through it. Question for y'all, because there were different points of the game where I'm like, I think I lean one way, and then other points of the game where I lean the other way. Desmond Ridder, is he good or no?
Man, listen,
he's aggressive. Now I'm gonna call him aggressive mediocre. He's young.
I don't think he's it.
He's okay. We're still trying to see what he's going to be.
I guess like my question is like, do you think that he can be?
I don't think he's going to be great.
or is it like Atlanta need to start looking for
It'll be
another
like
quarterback?
they type of Colt McCoy.
I think that he works for their system because Atlanta is a run-first team. So you just need a quarterback that can kind of manage and, make the plays when he needs to. And we saw him doing that on Sunday, whether it was with his legs or he should have had 3 interceptions. But
Faster Jimmy Garoppolo?
possibly.
Some of them throws, bro, I was like the picture of Brazil Douglas, I'm like, yeah, bro, you kind of lofted that out there. And then as the game going on, I'm like, a lot of your throws looking kind of...
That was his first career interception.
Yeah, I saw that. Throwing like that was the first time he got picked up. I was like, bro, I'm surprised. I'm shocked. Then we dropped 2 more.
That's right what it is. He like tricks people. It's like, oh, this is easy. It's too easy. And then you just drop
And they drop it. Because ain't no way, boy, that you only got one in like 300 plus throws and throwing like that. I got shades of old Peyton Manning, old Drew Brees.
With the Ducks?
With the Ducks, bro.
Oh,
Every time we let that bitch go, I'm like, where is it going?
Old. Yeah, I thought you was talking about.
No, bro, the way that them throws.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Where you going? No,
But
he did show flashes at least where I'm like, okay, I see the talent and like I can see a little bit more refinement, but it also didn't seem like they were really giving them that much.
They don't need to.
They got spoon feeding them, so I'm like, I don't know. Like I'll put a pin in it and I'll see like where it goes, but I'm at least intrigued a little bit.
Positively mid.
Shell said Riller's possibly mid, and then Dwayne added he shows flashes. And to Eric's point, the Packers going into the game had to know it was going to be run first. So what you would have tried to do is, if you could stop the run, what you would ideally like to do is force Ridley. You wanted him to have to beat you. That's the formula to beat the Falcons. Like the run, if you can't stop the run, it's tough for you. Tough for you, but frustrating L, especially because it was a victory in hand, and you felt like you could have grabbed it. It was right there, and it slipped away, and that's the frustrating part.
Also, Arthur Smith, what the fuck were you doing? Like it worked out, but some of those decisions he was making, the fourth down one, where I'm like, there's limited upside here. Like I get it, it worked out, it was fine, but you wound up taking a field goal anyway. So it's like
waste of time though.
It did. That's what I'm saying. Like it worked out. So results over process, but it's bad process because it's like
more teams are going for it now. That's the new. I know it's
not really going for it. The risk reward, like I'm one of the people where it's like, yeah, always go, like first 3 quarters, hell yeah, just go for it on 4th down. Like you get it back, whatever. Like I don't like the field position game so early in the game, but like at that point, it's like.
That's
if you don't get this,
the game is
you're
over.
Probably lose, like almost guaranteed L.
I was like, ooh, get a stop. And then here comes Bijan. I'm like, oh, no. Ain't no
and like maybe
there.
that's what it is. You have so much confidence in your rookie running back.
Oh, this fly bold. I ain't never seen a fly. Look.
Yeah.
That nigga this. That nigga disrespectful.
Oh,
but one thing that does it irritate you that the announcers every time Jordan Love throws the ball,
bring up
that looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
that's going to get
Aaron Rodgers. I was like, fam, like I literally stopped watching the game because I was like, fam, every throw, folks, like,
they gonna freeze frame the angle of his arm.
Man,
yeah, I'm like, come on,
he leaning a little bit. There go Aaron right there.
No, I was like,
and I was watching. I'm like, okay,
that's
yeah,
too much.
do look like it, but like it's not like.
Let this man be
Look
him.
at his footwork. Oh my god.
Let him be
Aaron
him.
Rodgers taught him everything he knows. Like,
Yeah, it's like, bro.
That guy Aaron was great.
I was like, man, I'm turning this off. This is irritating.
Special guy.
They
Wipe the tear out of
keep
his eye.
hearing about
Special
somebody
guy.
that's not even
real
playing.
special guy.
He's not even playing.
He
We
bestowed
still
his
hearing
blessing
name
on him.
every week.
Aaron text the young
that's
man.
gonna be the narrative all.
That's irritating.
That's gonna be all season. It's
Yeah.
the same thing that happened when Rodgers. We heard a lot of Favre stuff. Favre.
Yeah, I was irritated.
Favre.
They used to get mad that Aaron used to hold the ball because Favre used to swing that motherfucker. He holding the ball too damn low. He throwing picks. He holding the ball too long.
And there are still some Packer fans to this day who say they still prefer Favre over Rodgers for that reason. Because Favre would take the chance and give his guys an opportunity to make a sound the ball, whether or not the outcome was an interception or a catch.
That was hard to tackle waiting to happen with Favre.
Hey, different folks like different strokes. So
yeah, like this is a struggle for people like Aaron it out.
yeah, Tim be like, that game was 9-6. What a great game!
Sometimes I need, I need a little bit of fire.
Little fire, I feel it. Okay. Yeah. Packers play their home opener this upcoming Sunday against the Saints. Jamal Williams will not be playing. His hamstring injury is lingering, so he will not get his Lambeau return. My NFL one thing is probably gonna be pretty quick. I just want to say that Deshaun Watson's looking trash still.
Ah,
They sick. Paid him all that
I
money.
I saw this article and I just wanted to highlight a few things. As we know, the Browns pushed all their chips in
Man,
for Watson, gave him a
Nasty.
fully guaranteed
Stupid.
contract for the nasty man who had all the different cases against him.
nasty money.
He missed the entire 2021 season because he wanted to trade with the Texans, and then all the cases started coming out. And then he missed part of the 2022 season, 11 games, because of those sexual assault allegations.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody last year was like, "Oh, well, you know, you like a guy who hadn't played in a year and a half. Let's see him with an off season under his belt. Let's see him next season in 2023."
Mhm.
And he doesn't look great still.
Got it.
Just 2 games in. But I had to highlight this part from this article. It said, Cleveland's head coach said as much this spring, telling the team's website, quote, "Certainly for Deshaun to have that season under his belt and learn everything that's happened last year and in the past, he'll be a better player for it, and I think we'll all be better for everything," end quote. The article says, think again.
Yeah.
The player who cost the Browns 6 draft picks and $230 million has actually been worse. Through 2 games this season, Watson is completing only 55% of his passes. He's thrown the same amount of touchdowns as he has interceptions, which is 2.
mm.
And he has fumbled 3 times. He has more fumbles than he does touchdowns. One of those fumbles was returned for what ended up being the game-winning score in Monday night's loss.
Mm-mm.
He's making poor decisions. He just does not look like a good quarterback. Holding the ball too long. He's scrambling into defenders. He just does not look good. And that was my NFL one thing that caught my attention to say, that's tough, and especially with them losing Nick Chubb. Like now, you really would expect your quarterback who you're playing or paying like a franchise superstar to play like a franchise superstar. So
You gotta figure something out.
they do.
Me and officer looking at him right now, and you
What's
gotta
going on,
figure this
Chief?
out. Where the playbook at? Where the film at?
Do something different.
Let me see your phone. Let me see the log. Like, when the last time you been in the lab?
Hey, he basically finessed him.
No, ain't no
This
finesse
one-
around here. Get your ass in that room.
Hey,
Sit
he
there and
get-
watch that film. Figure something out.
He get paid. He like, hey,
Ooh, Dwayne with a good comment here. I like the side-by-side comparison of Watson and Mayfield through these 2 games. Baker is lapping Deshaun right now, which is a crazy thing to say.
Shout out to the Bears.
I think that's a good segue into Ken's point here. What's your one thing this week?
I don't even want to talk about it. But mine is about Justin Fields, okay? But quick stats. I want to put some stats up. So Justin Fields has started 27 games so far. He is 5-22 in those games. He has been sacked over 100 times. His completion percentage is 59.8. He has thrown for 26 touchdowns and 24 interceptions. He has fumbled 31 times,
Yikes.
and he is averaging 156 passing yards per game. This hurts my heart to say because Justin Fields is my boy, but he ain't it. I know, and he's black quarterback, but honestly, he ain't it. Watching he hasn't been in for a minute, and I've just been trying to be like, oh, like his decision making is piss poor, fam.
It truly is.
I counted. There were 7 times during the game that on Sunday that there were 1 or 2 open receivers that he looked at and did not throw the ball. He literally looked and did not throw the ball. So I don't know if he's thinking too much. I don't know if he's. The crazy part about it is that he'll throw an amazing ball. I was like, fam, you can throw the ball. Throw it. Stop holding the ball. And he doesn't play with any urgency at all. He backpedals and he's just whatever. He don't have any urgency or anything. And it's frustrating. Even though Moore had over 100 yards or whatever with 5 receptions and stuff like that. But multiple times, dude, 7 times during that game. We could have won that game if he would have just simply passed the ball instead of holding. The offensive line fixed everything that we did wrong against Green Bay. We fixed it. The playbook. We played this game right. It came down to him not throwing the ball. I'm not cussing no more, but I want to cuss. It is frustrating, fam. Justin Fields, like, I love you. Black quarterback all day, fam. But you have to throw the ball. Like, Sunday was no excuses that it came down to you. The offensive line, you had ample time to throw the ball this week. You wasn't running for your life. You had time to throw the ball. But you just held the ball, fam. Huh?
I seen him running a couple times on highlights.
That was because he wanted to.
Yeah,
he took off running. He didn't have to.
And that's so.
It's frustrating. Again, it's frustrating because we rectified the offensive line. Like, okay, cool. Like, they actually stepped up finally.
Last
How
year,
they did?
past week.
They did step up. Watch the game. Did you watch the game? Don't try to talk shit. You ain't even watch the game. See, now you making me cuss.
I seen some.
God damn.
You
You didn't even watch the game. I watched every single snap, fam. This man had ample time to throw the ball and he just didn't throw it. It seemed you can tell, like, when he drops back that he is thinking instead of thinking just the plays there, fam. Like, just throw the ball. I just need you to throw the ball. I want you to be comfortable, fam. And I'm not even going to put it all on you. Before, I didn't want to put it all on Justin Fields. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's the coaching staff. Oh, our O-line trash.
Oh, he ain't got no receivers.
Like, we didn't fix it. Yeah, he don't have no receivers. Oh, we didn't fix the offense around him. We tried, fam. We've been trying to cater to you, but you're not doing it. Like, last year, our offense was not made for a quarterback as just like for Justin Fields.
And last year, like halfway through, y'all kind of adjusted.
And then
the
they adjusted
offense
towards the end
to make
exactly.
him run, give him some more running plays.
Yeah,
and,
to make him feel more comfortable. Like I said, he had an amazing fantasy season, but fam, you don't throw over 200 yards, fam. Like, how do you expect us to win games when our quarterback only throws for 150 yards a game?
And that man said he was going to throw for 4,000 this year.
I was a fool. I'll say it. Ain't no way in the world. He damn near ain't gonna throw for 1,500. Like how he going right now, fam.
You ain't trying to let that motherfucker go.
It's irritating, fam.
Why throw it to you when I can run it myself?
I'm irritated. Because I have to come to the realization that, like, he's trash. And that we trash. And that hurts my heart, fam. Because I'll be on here looking up. Y'all make me look a fool every week.
Okay, so
Yes, fam.
I can feel it. Comment real quick. KG pointed out the fact that poor guy Chicago can't get it right, and then he also pointed out the fact that Diddy broke the cuss code because he got so frustrated.
I didn't cuss at all last week.
I don't know if that is true.
I did. Run it back. I ain't cuss at all.
Really? Listen to that. I'm just so used
I
to
said a few niggas. I ain't cuss, no.
Well, I don't count that as cussing.
Yeah.
I say that too.
Yeah.
Dwayne pointed out the fact I heard the Bears had one called quarterback run. I'm no head coach, but it feels like they're taking a big part of his game away. And that's part of it. Like, the coaching staff should give a little bit like, hey, we know you're a mobile quarterback. Let's put in a couple more plays designed to get you moving.
Yeah.
And we saw last year it worked a bit for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they would take that out completely. Like, they're trying to force him into being this pocket presence. And I get it. They got the weapons around him, so on and so forth. But, like, if you have the talent to scramble, you should find a way to try to incorporate that into the game in ways that can be beneficial to the offense.
But if you know that he's going to tuck and run on a bunch of your called pass plays,
the defense,
I can imagine that you want to limit the amount of hits that he takes. So, like, calling a design run might.
He don't slide. He don't slide.
That's that young stuff.
He don't slide.
Jordan Love ain't want to slide.
He's trying to
either.
drop his shoulder every time.
What's the rookie quarter?
Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. That boy didn't want to slide either, and
Man, he hit the back of his head.
he ain't finished neither one of these first two games yet.
Yeah, like they did the highlight package at like during halftime of the Packers game. Terry Bradshaw made some comment about I learned not to take all those hits, and I'm like, I didn't like the way that he said it, but then when I like digest the message,
what he
it's
was
like,
yeah,
you're right.
Like, from an old white man, you know.
Justin Fields only ran 4 times on Sunday, and I don't believe any of those were a dialed in.
No, it was just him taking off, but him taking off when we have open receivers. That's the problem.
I saw somebody on Twitter happened the other video, and they just highlight the open dude. And it did what you said. You saw him go through his progression.
He literally looked,
stare him down,
and then
he went like this.
Yeah, like, oh, oops, not a hand, not a here, fam. Like you protection wasn't the O-line. I'm telling you, go back. The O-line played great. This man did not throw the ball. He holds the ball too long. It's frustrating.
One, I've kind of been like wondering this for a couple years, like wondering out loud. I'm like, are we sure? Like when they were like, "Oh, we're not gonna take quarterback number one." Like,
are we sure that was the right move?
Justin Fields is the guy? Like he hadn't really shown anything, and like part of it, like you can't play the what if game, but I do wonder if they threw him out there too quick. Like when it felt like they moved on to him as starting quarterback because whoever y'all had, like his rookie year was Foles.
Yeah. It was Nick Foles.
Okay, yeah, and it's like he was ass, but again, like he seems to be one of the people that needed to sit and like really get acclimated. Like if he would have got the Jordan Love treatment, like
he'd be well better off. Yeah,
you got to have the right quarterback to sit behind too in that situation.
You do, but like they moved to him as a starting quarterback out of desperation, not out of he's ready to be thrown out there. It's like I said it when they did it. I'm like, I don't think you need to be thrown out there that early because you're not ready and you're gonna get like bad habits. And like now he thinks, I gotta bail. You know what I mean? Like so, they may have ruined him going forward because like
it's all mental now. Like everything is all like he has the talent, he can do everything. Like it's all mental now. His mental clock is thrown off because he ran the entire season last year.
Yeah.
But it's just so frustrating. I'm like, dude, like, look. You're wide open. And the thing that really got, I was like, fam, you're looking right at two of them. I was like, that's the easiest.
Maybe he's like Jameis and he need contacts.
Oh, man.
I forgot Jameis and you couldn't see.
That's my dude, man. Jameis.
Triple T in the comments said, bear down and out.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. That's for me.
And then on the, one, KG added that somebody need to grab that man a chair.
Hey,
we don't need to get Ken no chairs.
It's get real ugly.
And then Dwayne added about Anthony Richardson that he's going to have a short career if somebody don't talk to him. Yeah. And that's part of growing up as a quarterback. You know, when you're younger, you feel invincible. I mean, that's even...
Remember Lamar did. Lamar did
and
the
then
same
for a
thing.
while. And like, Aaron Rodgers didn't slide at first when he started as a starter. Like, because he has wheels.
Y'all need to talk to Tom Brady. This man playing till he's 40 because he don't take hits. He only been hurt, once? He only got hurt, once his entire career and he's been playing since he's 40? Yeah. It's odd.
KG also added that he's a run-first quarterback, but he doesn't have a body like Josh Allen to sustain it. Josh Allen barely got a body to sustain it. He's been having shoulder problems and all kinds of stuff. Hits. He just played through it, but like...
You think he Tebow? He be trying to...
Hey, Tebow, what? Tebow...
That was a big boy.
Hey, he could do it. Because Tim Tebow wasn't a throwing quarterback anyway.
Anthony Richardson's a big dude, too. Like, he's built like a tight
Desmond end. Ridder has a Tebow throw.
Okay. I think that's a good note in the NFL section.
That's a Tebow.
A Tebow throw.
Hey, man, put some respect on Tebow, bro. He's a winner.
What kind of respect?
He's a winner.
Okay.
He's a winner.
On the right.
Yeah, moving on from that. Wait, really quick before I do. Next week, the Bears, who do y'all have? Oh, Lord.
What they got, Dallas?
They got the Chiefs in Arrowhead, fam.
Come on, fam.
0-3?
Hey, Chiefs been wrong. Hey, we might.
What? What? You might what?
Hey, man, we can pull it off. I don't know.
That's that fandom. Like, come out, yeah, man. You gotta change.
I don't know, man. Just don't get blown up.
With Chris Jones and Kelsey back.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
That's the only business thing.
And y'all gonna be on the road,
yeah,
so that's a tough one.
All right,
I guess my home.
We'll lose by 30. It's cool.
Damn, Natasha Cloud called her shot. She got 30 since the game in the overtime.
Okay.
Oh, man, we're gonna get blown up.
Yeah, and then Packers have Saints. I think we said who the Vikings got next. Actually, let me see. Let's go to the division.
Is it Bengals?
Chargers, I think.
It was
Chargers.
Chargers. It was Chargers.
Yep.
It's one of the 0-2 teams.
And then the Lions, the Detroit Lions, the whole NFC North lost this past week, which helped the Packers loss feel a little bit better to me, where I was like, at least. Exactly. Where's Detroit? Detroit next week. They got the Falcons. Good luck stopping that run game next week. Oh, Dwayne called his shot 1-2 Vikings next week. We'll see.
Can go either way.
It really could. I really can't call it.
The Chargers are the
I
Vikings.
can't
of the
call it. I
AFC.
might spoil it.
Moving off of NFL, I made a comment on this show when the writer's strike and the actor's strike happened, and I said, "Hey, man, John Cena and The Rock, they might as well go back to WWE. They ain't got nothing else to do."
Makes sense.
And The Rock appeared on SmackDown on Friday
Man,
because
it's lit.
they
That
ain't got nothing
man
to do.
is in pure rehab mode right now. Like after them, Black Adam tank, like he's in get back season now. So
The Rock's appearance on SmackDown was like the biggest social media viewership that WWE has had, I think, ever. It was like over 1 million and like 100 million different impressions of just his segment on SmackDown.
So many
back.
bleeps.
Fox wasn't playing with
It
that.
sound like
A-hole.
like Eric said, sound like old Tech Power.
When we- Dude used to be so mad with the beeps, man. He used to had his little notepad.
Put the pencil
come
down.
on, man.
Cause we only bleeped out nigga. That was the only thing. He was sitting there writing it. Come on, y'all, man.
He almost kicked us out of the studio when Seth came through.
He came hot too with him.
But The Rock appeared on Friday's episode of SmackDown. Earlier on Friday, The Rock made an appearance on Pat McAfee's new ESPN show, and he discussed the possibility of returning at this past year's WrestleMania in a match against Roman Reigns. He said it was a handshake. WrestleMania 39, he was supposed to go and fight Roman Reigns, but then it fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
With The Rock appearing on Smack, well, one, if you know wrestling, when you're talking about things that didn't happen, normally it's for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he appears on SmackDown.
That's what made me turn it on.
Me too. When I got a text,
When I saw him on, man, I was like, "Oh, he probably gonna be on SmackDown."
No.
They were in Boulder.
Yeah, it only made
SmackDown was
sense.
in Denver.
It's like less than an hour away. I was like, "Yeah, he gonna be on SmackDown."
Sam texted me, Tim's wife, my bestie. She texted me. She was like, "You about to SmackDown?" With the little eye emojis, and I said, "No, Noman's not home. Like I wasn't watching it." She go, "Girl, The Rock on here." I said, "Let me turn this on real quick. I'm gonna just watch this little part." I'm turning her back off. But with all this being said, the writer's strike, actor strike, John Cena's back in WWE. We know he's gonna be there at least until the end of October. The Rock hasn't said like, "Hey, I'm making more appearances," whatever the case may be. But just mentioned Roman. We saw Young Rock, where he had a little teaser in that show about them fighting each other. Do y'all think that we're heading towards a Roman Reigns versus The Rock match at WrestleMania 40? And are you still interested in seeing that match? Because my initial thoughts was I was like, this storyline with the bloodline has gone so far now that they can tell it without The Rock being in it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I didn't think the storyline would last. Are we in year 3 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would be here this long. So, like, if whoever's the creative team behind the bloodline storyline, Roman and Paul and whoever else in the back is doing this, I'm sure there's a way they can put The Rock back into it that makes so much sense. But do y'all want to see it?
So when he was on McAfee, like I texted my brother, and I'm like, I feel like the moment passed because like they set up, like 40 is Cody's moment. Like they've already set that up. Like that's what it seems like they're building towards. Like that is the star-making vehicle for Cody Rhodes. Like the storyline doesn't really make sense if like finishing the story doesn't actually happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, this is next year WrestleMania.
But it's like, can you really string it out in a year and a half from now? Like it mechanically, it just feels like the story kind of has to be Cody. Then SmackDown happened. The Rock was there. The reaction was the reaction. I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. I was like, yo, it's The Rock, it's Roman Reigns. They got new ownership.
Yeah.
There's no way that they're gonna be like, oh no, maybe we should, Cody got to finish the story. That's what we said. Like,
They
no,
gonna say,
they
sorry,
like,
Cody.
The Rock says he wants to do it. We're gonna pay The Rock to do it because we're gonna make it back tenfold. So, I wasn't interested in it, but like, first of all, like I fuck with everything that the bloodline has done thus far. So if they have the story, then let's do the story. I do think it screws Cody, but sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm not here for it.
Because of Cody.
Yeah, just because of Cody. I do feel like the moment has passed. Again, like I trust the process and I trust the storytelling because like it's been amazing. Like it's literally been the best thing in wrestling with the past like 3 years. It just got to make sense. Because then Cody's story doesn't make sense. So it's just like I don't. That's the only thing. Like if we can make it all, if everything can make sense and Cody like, because then Rock and Roman, then who Cody has to wrestle somebody in night one. We go. You
We
can't.
don't know yet.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing,
So
yeah.
it's just like who what.
And
like,
Cody's
what's going-
already on record saying like that's belt.
Yeah, he's
He's
not
like,
going
no,
for that.
I'm going for the title that Roman got.
What if Roman Rock is the title match? What if
He already.
It's just
What if
tribal or
Rock
something.
screws Roman at Royal Rumble? Cody wins. Cody gets the belt. You get Rock and Roman at
I mean, there's
Mania still.
there's ways you can get to it.
and Cody still gets his belt.
But does it like take
It just
something
won't
off
culminate at
of-
WrestleMania.
Right. Like, does it take something off it where it's like it's not Mania though?
It's a big
Yeah,
four,
then
though.
it's like who does Cody fight at Mania then if he already
winner of the
beat
Royal
Roman?
Rumble.
Yeah, like then it just becomes a wrestling story.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what I mean?
Then
Like,
it ain't.
it's
ain't
not the crowning achievement. That's what I'm saying. Like for Mania, it gotta be-
Wait. I see Nerd World
Hey,
Order
what's going
in
on?
the chat.
What up?
He's saying the IWC is saying Phil might show up. Listen, let me be frank with you.
Come on, man. I know he ain't talking about CM Punk.
He is talking
Yes.
about CM Punk.
Hey, bro, get off our line. Nobody care about no CM Punk. Now.
CM Punk's pop if he came back to WWE would be
It'd be huge.
It'd be a
Boo-boo.
huge pop.
Boo.
But like, I don't see him just
Trash.
jumping into the main event picture if he did come back. But I will say this:
Put him in the
the
ring with Cody. Get him out of here.
I will say this with the Cody aspect of it. I mentioned, I think we were talking about last week. Was I just us talking? I don't remember if it was on the show or not. But with with Cody being the one to bring Jay over to Raw, I think that kind of keeps him somewhat tied into the bloodline.
Mhm.
And I think that little thread is nice. I love the segment they had with Kevin Owens where he's like, "Let me just talk to you. Why would you bring him here?"
Yeah.
I love seeing baby faces all in the ring together, but one being like, "I don't rock with this decision that you made." Sammy like, "Oh, I mean, it's cool. I mean, like, hey, everybody's been a
That's my
chance."
man. That's my guy.
And Kevin Owens sitting there looking like, "Yeah, all right." Like the way right now in wrestling, I'm not gonna act like I have been super invested in the whole picture of wrestling. The bloodline has been the piece that's kept me coming back.
Mhm.
But now seeing what's been happening with Seth Rollins, seeing how big Seth is,
Okay.
seeing the way they have repackaged my boy Shinsuke Nakamura. I love this heel version of Shinsuke.
Mhm.
Seeing his star power there, seeing what's going on with Judgment Day, who I was not sold on at first,
No, it works.
but it works. And the heat that Dominic gets cracks me up every time
This
because
man
the man
can't even
can't
cut
talk.
a promo.
They're
He can't
just
say
booing
nothing.
over him. Like they're heading in a direction that can be really, really exciting for wrestling. And then Jade Cargill's probably coming over
Oh,
to
I cannot
WWE.
wait.
I heard she in the Performance Center this week. So
I'm like Tim, give it to me.
Yeah.
Bianca's been out. Like she gonna come back soon. Like there's so many different pieces here.
Give us that for Mania.
You're right.
Give
Rhea
it.
was the key. Triple T
Yeah,
also added that he
she
hopes
was.
Roman and The Rock make an appearance when they come here.
Oh,
SmackDown
so
will be
that'd
in
be lit.
Milwaukee October 27th. They have already announced that Roman will be at SmackDown in Milwaukee
Mm-hmm.
along with John Cena. We have not heard about The Rock, but hopefully, like you said,
Yeah, that would be dope.
like on some hater shit. Like just because I don't know. Like if The Rock comes, I'm gonna be mad.
I will pass out if The Rock is there.
That's,
I'm like-
that's funny.
Hey, Noman, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If we at SmackDown and we hear the if you smell, you better be ready to catch me. I will, hand on forehead,
It's gonna look like a Michael Jackson concert.
Ah.
and our seats might be on TV. You might see me actually pass out on the
Right there, look at me.
I said The Rock. That would be Sam doing it. Don't let me and Sam. Man, listen. Anywho, wrestling's kind of exciting right now. I should also mention the fact I mentioned that John Cena's back, but Batista also came out and said, "Hey, listen, WWE,
He's an actor.
if y'all have some need for me, if you think of a storyline that's interesting, I'm not about to wrestle." Batista's very clear about that. He said, "I have retired from in-ring competition. My last match was against Triple H. That's it. But if y'all want me to come back for some other storyline development, like manage, whatever it might be, like I'm open to that."
No.
I'm here for it.
If you're not gonna wrestle,
he ain't gonna
though,
wrestle. If he was wrestling, then I would be like, absolutely not. But because that was terrible.
What we need him back for? If
I don't know. That's what he said. If there's a storyline that makes sense, he said, I will come back.
I'm
I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna be excited to see Batista.
I missed his run too.
I wasn't really watching
Batista
either.
run was nice.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah, the animal was.
I saw some evolution.
We were talking about it before off air, where I was like, there were characters that I thought were mean until like I actually watched it, and we were talking about like TikTok and stuff. But Batista's one of those where I wasn't watching wrestling during his entire run. I just assumed he looked like a heel, so I just assumed he was heel that entire time. So then when I went back and
And saw you
went back
the whole
and
time.
looked into it, it was like, no, dude was a face for pretty much the entirety of his run. Oh.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
give me what I want.
That isn't what I want. It ain't what I want.
yeah, I do wonder though if they're kind of skirting the rules of the strike, because you're not really supposed to be doing anything.
No.
Who else?
Drew Barrymore.
No, we know what happened with Drew Barrymore. It was the guy. I think it's is
She
it
was trying
Rob?
to give it up.
Rob Riggle. He was saying like, "Hey, listen, like I can do more with sports right now while this is going on. I'm gonna do it."
Drew Barrymore wild.
She said,
She was
"Forget
like,
all this.
Hey,
My whole show coming back."
pay for to watch me.
And like, to be fair, I think that she was saying like, I have a staff of like 100 people, I have 4 writers, and I'm in the actor field. Like nobody, like everybody else's job could potentially go away because like they can just dump her show, and everybody's fired for like 5 people that it actually affects. Like, I get it.
I mean, one of the last things on the docket, but I'll say here, I mean, another casualty of the strike partly was Winning Time. Like HBO was canceling Winning Time after season 2 is the last season. There's no more Winning Time. The writer's strike and actor strike had a piece to do with it, but also I heard viewership wasn't where they hoped it would be.
Still one of the best shows.
Like now, everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they canceled the show." It's like
I didn't
y'all talking about
watch
it
it.
one
Yeah, what am I talking
time,
about?
like
Yeah.
while it was on, and it's like I've been saying it like the entirety of its run, and especially in the last couple months. Like, please watch the show. It's good, and I feel like it's not gonna come back. So, and like what I found out after the fact, like I didn't realize there was a season finale coming up because it's like the 7th episode of the season. That's because they cut it down from 10 to 7 even before the strike happened. So it was already on thin ice. People weren't watching it. The strike didn't help. They didn't promote it at all for season 2. Like, I just happened to be on HBO Max
saw it.
and it was like, oh yeah, it premieres on Sunday. I'm like, dog, I am the target audience for this show. It's a historical drama on HBO about basketball. Like, there's nothing like that's the holy trinity of shit for me, like entertainment wise. And I didn't know about it. And like part of that is the actor strike because they can't do any press or promo for it. Like, not like they're doing interviews or anything like that. But like then it falls back on HBO. It's like you have synergy with all these companies like under your umbrella. Like, run a commercial, run something, do something, online ad campaign, something. Like they didn't believe in the show. But it was well acted. I'm kind of holding off on watching the finale just because
I haven't watched. I gotta catch up on like 3 episodes over there.
I'm gonna restart
Because I like
they
to
got
watch
canceled. Because I definitely forgot. Like I
like to watch it back to back to back.
And I feel like that was probably part of the problem. Is one, the streaming model, like people kind of let stuff build up to binge. But then also it feels like one of those shows where people intend to watch. It's like, oh yeah, that's back.
With me.
That's back.
Me.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it, and then like a million other things are going on, or sports is back, football's back now, and it's just we're not in that era anymore of more is more in TV and streaming and everything. Like, everybody was just like gobbling up content and content. Like, now it feels like all the companies are kind of pulling back on that because it's expensive. And now with these, like, basically what they're negotiating over with the strikes is people getting paid for streaming stuff. It's like, if we got to pay y'all more, we're not going to do as much streaming. I feel like I just talked for a very long time. So somebody else, please.
All right, well, let's move on into the WNBA playoffs. 2 series are complete. Semifinals begin on Sunday, September 24th. And let me just, I understand they got to schedule games when they schedule games, but part of my problem with WNBA playoffs is that it's on during football. And it's kind of like, I'm like, I want to watch this, but I have to watch my Packers. I'm watching so the the semifinals starting on Sunday. I was like, another football Sunday that's in competition with WNBA playoffs. But the Aces won their series against the Chicago Sky. They won 2-0. And then the New York Liberty, just as we were sitting here recording, finished out their series against the Mystics, winning 2-0. They won game 2 in overtime. Let's see. There's another series at 1-0. Wings and the Dream. Dallas leads that 1-0. Game 2 is going on as we speak right now. And then there's one series that's tied 1-1. Connecticut Sun and Minnesota Lynx. Game 3 for that one is tomorrow at 7 p.m.
I expect the Sun to pull that one off.
Yeah, so the Liberty will play the winner of the Sun Lynx matchup, and then the Aces will play the winner of the Wings Dream
It don't
matchup.
matter.
Yeah, we're getting closer, y'all, to what I want to see. Aces and Liberty in the finals. Per Mark Spears, a mystery Eastern Conference team has held trade talks around Damian Lillard. Who do you think that mystery team could be? And also, I do want to ask y'all, do y'all think that Dame gets traded before the season starts?
Yes.
One, I wish I wore a hoodie.
Conspiracy brother.
But yeah, I actually do. I think it seems like everybody's kind of backing out. I feel like they'll want to get this done before training camp. So I think we're in the end game now for Dame. But I mean, obviously I could be wrong, but I just feel like we're getting close. My conspiracy brother hood talk is one. Okay, so something happened yesterday. I'm like, what does this mean? Kelly Oubre signed with Philly. All summer they've been like, the Heat are gonna sign Kelly Oubre after they get the Dame deal done. I'm like, what do you know? It seems like odd time. Like maybe Philly was like, take it or leave it. You know, bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, or whatever the saying is. It's like, you got a job. We got it here for you. You can keep waiting on Dame, but that may or may not happen. And they just like panic and like, okay, I'll take it. Or he knows Dame ain't going to Miami. And it's like, I'm not saying he's going to Philly, but like maybe he's just like, I'm moving on from the Heat because
this ain't gonna
work the way I thought it would.
But you can't go back to Portland. But you can't go back to Portland.
Oubre?
Oh no, yeah.
You want to it's fine. So then that kind of brought me back over to Giannis keeps coming back, like applying pressure. It's like he's gonna get the max, whatever. So it's not a money thing. It's he wants the Bucks to do something. They already signed his brother. They already signed his other brother to a G League contract. Like they don't took care of the family thing. So again, it's like, what is he trying to apply pressure to them to do? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Like I'm not saying that they have the ammunition, but like there was a report. I forget who it was. It was either Shams or like Mark
Spears or Stein.
Yeah, Spears was this one, but like somebody reported they were like they're considering 3-team options where a vet goes to a third team. The third team then sends like all their young pieces to Portland. I'm like, the Bucks have a vet that has trade value. Drew Holiday.
That's the only. To be clear, that is the only
way
vet that they can actually trade. I see Triple T in the comments about Chris Middleton putting up deuces. They can't trade Chris Middleton until I believe December 15th, and Brooke can't be traded until January because they just signed their contract. So that's not going to happen this offseason.
It has to be true.
Which I am not. That's where I was like.
But again, like I do wonder if this is him. Like, yo, I want another star with me. Like Drew's great, but somebody take the load off me offensively, opens up the floor, blah, 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 whatever. Like, I just wonder if that's connected. Like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just Giannis wants some attention and getting it in August by talking about his contract a year from now. I don't know. But, like, that was where it's like, could this involve the Bucks and, like, what would that look like?
That'd be crazy.
And that would be a surprise because we haven't heard anything about that. And
yeah, because the Bucks, when you look at it just straight up, you're like, the Bucks don't have the pieces to make this trade happen. So if it's the third team getting, like, who knows what that is? And I mean, Dame was listing his teams that he wanted to play for before he was talking about it. I can see Brooklyn being that team too. And Triple T tomorrow. He was at church on Sunday. I'm gonna ask him.
You finna get traded.
One thing I will say about Drew, and y'all know how I feel about Drew Holiday, but he did make mention of the fact that after this contract is up, he was possibly gonna retire. And if that is the case,
well, then he has no trade value.
right? But I mean, I'm not sure how widely known,
Mm-hmm.
how widely known that is. People really believe what he's saying, whatever the case may be. But like, if that is the case, then the Bucks would be better off trying to get an asset back for him if he is planning to retire in 2 years.
How old is Drew?
31 or 32.
Yeah,
Oh, you are. Oh, yeah.
early 30s.
Well, you way
That's
younger.
not all right.
I was just gonna say, hey, he way younger.
Dang.
Drew is 33.
No, it's close.
Yeah.
Okay, so about my age.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
was
about my
like,
age. Yeah.
Middleton 32.
About my age.
We the old Bucks out here.
You can take his church comment off. But,
We the Buckaroos out here.
right. KG added that Giannis at this point will have to show himself on the court. He keeps talking now, time to show it himself. That's part of it. He's, of course, putting pressure on the front office. But like you said, he got to do something. Tim, what you think about Dame? Who do you think the mystery team is going to be? And do you think he gets traded before the deadline? I shouldn't say the deadline. I'm sorry. Before the season opens up.
Wait, hold on. Google, what y'all know? Because I Googled Drew Holiday and it says teammates: Chris Middleton, Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant. Anyway,
Okay,
sorry.
Google. Breaking news.
Right. I'm like, what?
There were some scuttlebutt about New York possibly doing that.
See, that
The
was
Knicks?
that was my team. Yeah, I was gonna say
The Knicks, I think they have some firepower that they can kind of slide over if they want to try to go in for Dame, but bringing him in as the face of the franchise for however long, in the New York market for a team like the Knicks that has enough pieces right now to be able to.
They just fell in love with Brunson.
I was just
They
gonna say
did.
that was such.
They did, but I mean, they always searching. They always searching for stuff.
But Dame time in New York would be
Crazy.
Imagine that'd be lit.
For however long he decides to. But
How old is Brunson? 27.
Yeah, I was like, he's pretty young.
I don't know. Brooklyn, I could see more than the Knicks.
Dame's on.
That's what I'm like. I don't know if I was a Knicks fan. I don't know if I'd be super excited about the like. You just saw you had a good point guard. Like you saw that Brunson can do it,
No, he's it.
and he's 6 years younger, so you would have more playing time with him than. But that's just my opinion on it. The Knicks could be like, we want the superstar. They can go and do
Also,
that.
Dame low key probably had his best season last year. Like the Blazers were trash, but
He was
he
good.
was
he
not
was
the problem at all.
Not at all.
Oh, one last thing about conspiracy brother part. Giannis and Dame have always like
Wanted to play
had
with
a
each other.
mutually, mutual admiration society type of relationship where like, who's the one player you want to play with? Dame. Who's the one player you want to play with? Giannis. So, I mean, that could just be them talking here, but
I mean, Dame.
they have said it publicly.
Dame said it. Giannis also mentioned Steph Curry, but
Dame, I love Milwaukee.
no, well, maybe.
I mean, he been in Portland.
I was about to say that's why I stopped
Oklahoma.
myself. Like, well, it won't be too big of a. No, actually, it will be a culture shift because I'm not gonna finish that thought. You got any other Dame thoughts you want to get off?
I'm not.
You know, you're not pitching the Lakers.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy.
Since when?
Since today,
You still got one of the goats.
I do. He gonna test NBA history too. A lot of seasons played under his belt. Okay. No, yeah, just longevity. Okay, Triple T says the Knicks want Giannis. They've wanted Giannis for a very long. That's not new news. Everybody wants Giannis. The photoshops are crazy.
Like, I love seeing him in a Lakers jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
That's another like it's.
I thought you said you ain't want to be that guy.
Just said.
I just said I love to see him in a Lakers. I didn't say bring him.
Murphy's
Right.
couch.
I just said I like seeing him in a Lakers jersey. That's all.
KG added that Dame in Macau would be nice, but he will be back to square one like Portland.
Yeah.
New York.
Just in New York,
Yeah.
bigger market.
He
Okay.
could be like, I made it to the big time.
I mean, I think Brooklyn's gonna be nice. Not like championship nice, but they got pieces that they can start building around. Some transaction and injury news. I forgot NFL is such a violent sport. Football is. There are just so many injuries and whatnot. So we mentioned Joe Burrow aggravating his calf. There's still an evaluation process. We're not sure if he's going to be playing next Monday. We mentioned Nick Chubb. He suffered a severe leg injury during Monday Night Football. I wasn't watching at the time because they had 2 Monday Night Football games on at the same time. I was watching the other game.
NBA shit.
Right. And I was seeing Twitter going like, hey, Nick Chubb got hurt. He got carted off. And then I saw somebody say they didn't show the replay. Then I knew it was about to be bad. So I was like, I don't need to see it either. Then I happened to see it because that's how Twitter works. And I said, oh my God. Prayers up to Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
that's a severe injury.
Yeah,
And that's the same knee that he hurt a couple years ago.
Yep. And when he hurt his knee back in 2015, he had dislocated his left knee, tore his MCL,
Jesus.
PCL, and LCL. And now he injured that same leg again.
Damn, I said a few years ago. 2015 is not a few years ago.
It just feels
A lot
like
of
it.
years ago.
It just feels like the Cardinals play safety Buda Baker on injured reserve.
Did he ever get paid? Like, I know he was holding out, but that might have been right.
He won't
I
be
think
holding
he's
out
still
this
part
year.
of hell now.
Eagles defensive back Avante Maddox will have surgery this week to repair a torn pec, and it will keep him out indefinitely, potentially for the season. Giants running back Saquon Barkley is week to week with a sprained ankle. The Lions had some tough injury luck this past week. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is feared to have suffered a torn pec.
Oh, no.
David Montgomery didn't finish Sunday's game, and he was limping afterwards and said he was going to need a couple weeks at least for his quad injury. And then Lions pass rusher James Houston suffered a fractured ankle, so he's going to be out at least 6 to 8 weeks. All that being said, we talked about the NFC North, division being open. Lions were the favorite. They're getting hit early with some very severe injuries to that team. Packers offensive lineman Elgin Jenkins mentioned this. He suffered an MCL sprain during that game against the Falcons. He's going to be out a few weeks. Panthers cornerback J.C. Horn, he's being placed on injured reserve. He has a hamstring injury. Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has an ankle injury. But they're saying he might be week to week. Like they should be able to play through his injury. I also heard that he might
with
be
Kim K, right?
Yeah, he's
I
out
heard
here with
about
Kim
that.
K. And Travis Kelce out here with Taylor Swift.
He ain't
Just
wrong.
musical chairs.
Hey, he's like, but he ain't wrong.
Steelers placed wide receiver Deontay Johnson on injured reserve. And then Vikings swing tackle Ale Udo. He was carted off during their last game, and he suffered a season-ending quad injury. On the NBA side of things, New Orleans Pelicans guard Jose Alvarado. Jose.
That's the only reason you put that.
Yeah.
He suffered an ankle sprain during his workout, and his availability for training camp is in question.
I didn't realize we were that close to training camp.
It's like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's like 2 weeks away now at this point. MLB injury. The Angels announced that Shohei Ohtani, he's been placed on the injured list and with his oblique injury, and he won't play anymore this season. I thought I saw somebody he cleaned his lockers out too. Is there some like contract dispute stuff happening with him after this year?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think he go back?
He's going to get paid. I
Yeah.
don't know
So
where.
you have to pay him.
But are the Angels gonna pay him? Some of the Angels have Trout.
Yeah, they was about to trade him at the deadline, and then
His
when they was making the playoff push around that time,
Yeah,
they decided to keep
to.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Showy.
Yeah.
And then they lost like
Right after that.
Okay, that's tough. All right. NFL transaction news. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes restructured his contract. He now is going to be making $210.6 million
Jesus.
between 2023 and 2026, which is the most money in the NFL history over a 4-year span. His compensation is guaranteed
He
over that
deserves it.
time. And they also said that in 2026, they're going to come back to the table and revisit it, and then they can give him some more money possibly then.
Yeah, like back in the day, WCW gave Kevin Nash and Scott Hall a deal where they were guaranteed to be the highest paid wrestlers. So every time somebody got brought in at a higher number, like they would get a new contract. And it feels like that's what the Chiefs are doing. Where it's like, hey, every time somebody becomes the highest paid player in the NFL, we got you.
I ain't mad at it.
it's just a trigger.
Right,
Yeah, basically,
right.
It's just like,
Because once Burrow got his extension, Patrick Mahomes dropped to actually being 8th among all quarterbacks.
Yeah, he was like, how many Super Bowls though?
I mean,
How many? Show me the money.
NBA transactions. We mentioned Kelly Oubre. He's going to Philly.
Mhm.
Taj Gibson. He's going to the Washington Wizards on a 1-year deal. He's 38 years old. It's going to be his 15th season. And the Lakers,
Keep getting them checks.
yeah, they signed a contract extension with Jared Vanderbilt. 4-year, $48 million. $48 million.
I'm happy about that.
Good.
Mhm.
The Rockets are apparently actively engaged with multiple teams on a Kevin Porter Jr. trade.
Once they go get a bag of chips.
Dog.
They're trying to say,
I
hey,
said
we're
a bag
going to
of
give y'all a bunch of second rounders. We got to take him off our hands.
A bag of chips.
Like basically, like they're using him as dead money, and because of the way his contract was structured, because they didn't trust him to begin with, like he's only guaranteed for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only fully guaranteed for this season.
His
And then
next
going
year's-
forward, it's kind of like an NFL contract where
Mhm.
they can cut him if they need to, which is
They would
pretty
do.
much a guarantee at this point. So, like they're like, hey, we'll incentivize you to take his money. We'll take back some stuff that may be able to help us on the court more than Porter Jr. will.
Mhm.
And you guys get cap relief going forward.
Something's better than nothing.
So we'll see if any teams take that bait, because then you have to deal with the fact that you're trading for a guy who's accused of domestic violence. And yes, Shells, I did say Taj Gibson. He is back. He is about to be hooping for the Wizards. Couple blow the whistles before we get out of here. I'll be very quick. I'm blowing the whistle on Colorado fans.
Mhm.
And you can remove the Taj Gibson. I'm blowing a whistle on them, because if you missed Colorado's 43-35 double overtime victory over Colorado State,
Happy up at 1 a.m. watching football.
first of all,
1 in the
far
morning,
too
fam.
late. I fell asleep
I
during
really
the
was
first
up at 1 in
overtime.
the morning, bro, watching football.
I was
And I
saying,
loved
like,
it.
It only started getting good as I fell asleep.
And it was great.
Like that game was garbage for the first 3.5 quarters.
Mhm.
You were nice.
During that
Yeah.
game, Henry Blackburn, DB for Colorado State,
Mhm.
placed a late hit on wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter. It was late. Hunter actually suffered a lacerated liver from that hit. He is absolutely going to be out this weekend against Oregon, and it's possibly going to be longer than that.
Mhm.
It's a dirty hit for sure. I think that
Yeah,
Blackburn
it was.
should have been ejected from the game. He was not. They continued to play on. Colorado ends up winning in double overtime. Colorado fans, though, started issuing death threats against Henry Blackburn for the hit that he put on Travis Hunter. And I am blowing the whistle on those Colorado fans, because, again, it is never that serious
Never.
to be issuing death threats against somebody over again.
That's ridiculous.
It is not that serious. I love the fact that Deion Sanders came out as well in his press conference to reiterate the fact that that's not okay. Nobody should be doing that. He said, was the hit late? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But regardless of what it was, what it shouldn't be is death threats for this man. Like, leaked his address online.
Yeah,
like,
that's never
like
okay.
y'all were doing way too much. And a lot of sport fans, they toe that line. Like, it's y'all go over the line
Mhm.
too many times.
Habitually.
Even with the Vikings running back, Madison.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was getting death threat, like, and racist comments, but like I understand being a fan of a team. We're all fans of teams here, but like, don't forget these are human beings and it's a game.
Exactly.
It's a game. It's never that serious for death threats. My blow the whistle was on Colorado fans and also those Viking fans. I'm gonna throw y'all in there too for just being nasty.
Speaking of nasty fans, Kadarius Toney, you're actually getting the blow the whistle because he had a horrible game week 1.
Mhm.
Dropped a bunch of passes, looked terrible.
Mhm.
Basically justify everything the Giants fans have been saying about him for however many years he was there. They were trash to him on Twitter, on social media. He deactivates his account. Well, within your rights, you don't have to take that abuse.
Mhm.
But what you're not gonna do is then come back and talk shit over the weekend, like when the Giants don't look good. Like you kind of got to keep that same energy.
Mhm.
That's it. I meant to say it last week. I got to the end. I forgot. But my blow the whistle this week is on Vince McMahon.
Oh boy. What do
Vinny-
you do now?
Vinny Mac.
I mean, for Vince McMahon, it's actually kind of innocuous. But they held so last week we mentioned it. WWE and UFC have officially merged. They're now under the umbrella of TKO.
Person Justin Timberlake.
But today they held a meeting for employees. First of all, they did a bunch of layoffs last week, which sucks for the people that work there.
Mhm.
But they had an employee meeting today in Stanford at WWE headquarters. Vince McMahon was there. Ari Emanuel, who is like now the president of TKO, was there. And Vince like referred to Ari as his boss, which is weird. Like Vince McMahon has a boss like, for the first time in like 40 years. But then he also said that the company has stagnated and that this deal was to get them to the next level, which is bullshit because like every earnings report that WWE has put out basically since the pandemic started has been record high profits. Our business is doing this, doing that. Like they've been exploding for the last 3 years at least. Which to me reads as he needed some type of justification. I don't know if he like had to mentally trick himself or if he's just outright lying by saying that they were stagnating, because like that will require him to come back from his forced retirement to come back and say like, oh, you know, I have to sell the company because I have to get it back on right. Like, no, that's bullshit, man. Like, you just say you wanted to come back and this was your way of doing it. But like to say that, like just outright lie and say the company is stagnating, like we have facts that very clearly say WWE is doing record business right now. And TKO, like, yes, TKO can probably take them to the next level, whatever that is, but like WWE was already on that trajectory as they were prior to this merger. So,
I just saw a post saying that HBO Max is streaming NBA games this upcoming season at no additional cost.
Oh, really?
65 regular season NBA games, the in-season tournament, NBA All-Star Weekend 2024, NBA playoffs, and Inside the NBA. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a call it simulcast where it's aired somewhere then also on HBO. Or I would think that them moving it all just to HBO Max would be detrimental to the league, but we'll see.
Rumor that AEW is trying to get a deal with HBO Max.
I heard that. That would actually be good for them because ain't nobody trying to pay $50 for a pay-per-view.
No. But I already got Max, so I'll watch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of like having Peacock, where it's like, I'm watching every pay-per-view because it's here. I pay for Peacock. But, that's the show this week. Hope y'all enjoy. Let's see. Parting words this week. Tell your people that you're proud of them. A lot of people are out here hustling. They doing what they trying to do, whether that's their day job, their side job, the business they starting up, whatever the case may be. It's hard to go through that grind when you're trying to get to the next level of whatever that endeavor is, right? So support your people. Just, hey, I'm proud of you for X, Y, and Z. You don't know how, that can go a long way. It might not feel like much to you. But when people are out here hustling over and over and over, it gets tired. So just tell people you're proud of them. And lift up the people. It goes a long way. I know I saved text from my Uncle Tony. And I'll go back and I'll reread him saying, like, I am proud of you. Or, like, you are getting better. Keep doing this. And I'm like, you need to see that every so often. I had a friend also tell me recently, she had me crying. She was like, my brother saw you on YouTube and he was so proud of you. And I wanted to tell you, like, we're so proud of you. Like, it people need it. You need it. You need that support. And it's nice to hear it. So tell the people who you see out here hustling, you're proud of them. Let your people know you're proud of them. Absolutely. Support them.
I need to be better at accepting. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Like, I'm awkward. Thank you. Like, so, on the flip side, I need to be better about that.
Yeah, and to that note, accept how dope you are. Because, like, a lot of, like, I'm also somebody who's, like, pretty humble. I don't like bragging or nothing like that. But, like, sometimes when you are that, like, listen, accept it. Understand your greatness as well. Because look, if you don't understand your own greatness and you can't receive that, it's going to be harder for others to also receive it. So, you great. You dope. Stand on that.
Let me practice. You know how dope you got to be? Got your face on a poster. Like, we cold. No, we aren't.
We are, though.
Yeah, we
also
are.
buy a shirt. We got shirts.
Yeah, all kinds of merch.
We'll do that.
All right.
Like,
also realized that it was a very dark week for the clothing this week. All wore. I missed the black memo.
Oh yeah, I need to wear the colors.
Wore the brown. But yeah, that's the show this week, y'all. We hope y'all enjoyed. Be safe out here in these streets.
Be easy, as Tim would say.
Yeah, weather is changing. It's going up and down a lot, and COVID is still out there. People are getting sick.
Mhm.
So make sure y'all take the proper precautions. Keep washing your hands.
Yes.
Yes,
Please.
wash it all. And on that note,
You ain't really been talking this week.
yeah, you.
I was gonna talk to him after the pod.
kept me too.
I promise God I was, because I was like, this fool.
This man started the show. So I'm trying to bring the energy, and then he didn't
ain't
talk.
saying nothing no more.
But I was gonna wait till we got on.
Yeah, I was too. But since we're here, since we're here,
we ain't doing no therapy sessions on there.
exactly.
Yeah, you can catch me or follow me on my social media. You can catch me
Wait a minute.
on Twitter, Instagram, these PSN, 2Day Streets. I gotta learn how to shoot. Yeah, at Camille CAMILLEMONAE.
Shout out to Cody. Watch that bill from me.
Cody.
Cody, that and
Oh, I was like Cody. I was like Rose. Like, wait,
No,
what?
no.
Is he in? I was like, is he in the comments?
Yeah.
at Buckspinner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
That is all you get.
Everyday _ gentleman on Instagram. KHarris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Miss y'all until next week.
Bye.
So who's flowing this week?
You said who's? I'm not rapping this week. I can tell you that. It's Can turn to rap.
Hey man, I ain't finna have you with the alphabet bars. I'm straight.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.